welcome to another channeled Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie. I'll be your guide today. If you ever want to find out a little bit more about me, my website is www.codestoanewreality.com. I also have a YouTube with lots of various things, including my music on there. My website is my books for children to ignite them, my artwork. Yeah, I was a singer-songwriter as well. I've been a creator all my life. So I am also an intuitive. I'm a highly empathic, and I can tap into you and help you to connect you back to your soul and your lineage and your power of who you are. So yeah, I do have intuitive counselling on my website as well. There's also oneness messages that's on my YouTube. I create beautiful little film clips that go with these messages so that you get a inspirational video to go with them. Yeah, so that's enough about me. Let's get into these channel messages. I have been gifted with so many channel messages lately. I don't know why, but it's just really coming through thick and fast for me. I've done a lot of clearing in my own self, and maybe that's why I've gone through a few more tower moments. My life has gone up and down like a yo-yo, but every time I have a tower moment, I learn something so valuable about myself from it, and I just push on and move ahead towards even more and more light within myself and wisdom within myself of who I truly am authentically. I do realize lately that I have a team with me, and this team of channeled, this is where I get my channeled messages from that I'm talking about now. But the team that I have is mainly Arcturian and Pleiadian. That's not to say that they haven't been in many other different worlds, and even worlds that we haven't even heard of. And I know that from my own soul's perspective, I too have, we've been a team together for a while. And we've experienced as a whole, as one, quite a few different varieties of existence. I mean, if you can see how many varieties of existence here lives on Earth, you can imagine just how many trillions of varieties of existences and perceptions of reality live out in the whole vast universe or multiverse, and including interdimensional as well, different frequencies that humans can't even tap into. So it's very vast, and our imagination is one of the key things that help us, guide us to things that we are more connected to, or have had experiences with, recenter experiences with before this life. So if you're feeling like you're a light worker, some of those experiences that you feel just because they have been the ones that just happened recently, like your last few lives or something. So they're more fresh in your soul's feeling and vibration, but it's not to say that you can't tap into so much more. And the more you clear within your human, the more you take control of your mind and clear the stuff, the old programs, the more that you can tap into all of these different perspectives as well. The artwork behind me is something I did as one of the first artworks. So these artworks that I'm showing you, mainly, they're not the greatest Photoshop works, but you can kind of get a picture and a feel of where I'm coming from. This artwork goes a lot lower than the pictures, and a lot higher than what the picture allows on Zoom. So there's a baby sitting in the corner. It's actually my daughter when she was a baby. And she's imagining this. So her imagination is conjuring up the spirit that she's connected to as well, and they have this able to converse and communicate with each other when that happens. The ball has a butterfly within it. That was more symbolizing the transformation of humanity. The pillars are very Pleiadian-like, and not to say that pillars aren't on other worlds as well, but it's just what I've seen and felt into. And the mountain, I love the mountains in the background of my work, because I've been to places, they've shown me in places where there's been mountains in the background that are very new earth, where I could just put my hand out and visualize the wall of a house, and then it would solidify to however I perceived or wanted. So yeah, heaps of cool different things to spark you into realizing that there's a lot more out there than what this limited reality gives you. So I've got all these channel messages I'm going to have to get through. They start off on the 3rd of September. The hurdles of this world are not only being fought between the light and the dark forces, the east and the west, the logic and the faith, but they are also being fought within each and every one of us, wanting to burst out of old programs that never served us and only brought arguments and dismay, and the realization that being absolutely authentically you, no matter what that looks like to others, at least makes you happy. When the majority win the battle within their own minds, they will also find their outside world starts to reflect in different these different perceptions, because their soul starts searching for these different perceptions, and their reality becomes more vast, and gifts start becoming a lot more given out, or it just happens naturally, because you naturally become into your authentic self, and your authentic self has a lot more gifts than what your limited consciousness does. One where individuals no longer overreact to things that they felt weren't heard or given to them, because they take the reins of their own reality and give those things to themselves. They start to trust and listen to themselves. They support and stand up for themselves. They learn to love every part of themselves, no longer coming down on oneself, and therefore no longer reacting to others that still felt in that lack of. And as you can imagine, when I was growing up, I had a lot of people, saying that I was, too much in my imagination. I remember my father actually saying to me, I suppose when you think you die, you go to some beautiful world. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm thinking to myself, and what's wrong with that? I mean, really, if we can think of a beautiful world while we're alive, and we can bring that into our reality, which is what we're really doing, even better. But okay. Anyway, also, I just wanted to say that it is actually my birthday today. I have been residing in this body on Earth for 54 years now. So yeah, still shining. Okay. So that message was channeled on the 3rd of September. And that was from, I'm just going to say that's from my team. Unless I really feel a strong pull towards either Pleiadians or Arcturians or Anunnaki, or there's benevolent reptilians as well, or Sirius, or there's so many others. If I know there's a strong pull towards those, then I will say their name of what I'm channeling through. Otherwise, it's just my team. I have definitely a team of souls in higher dimensions. I also know that there's at least one, if not a few, souls that came to Earth, not just me and my team. So there's a team of them up there that communicate with me and always have done, and then there's a few that are doing the survival game down here and finding themselves, trying to find themselves, their authentic selves here on Earth, which I'm sure in the end I will be tripping up over. So next is the 4th of September. It may seem like this world is losing the plot, but this is far from what's really going on. Many still caught in the matrix will certainly feel that, but those who have woken will lead the way to such freedom that when we get there, the truth of humanity's hidden authentic self will shine so bright. Many new experiences of self will shine, and this world will be the playground instead of a prison. I like that one. So instead of feeling limited, we will be in a playground. 5th of September. The only true stable gifts are the ones that you gift yourself, as no one can take away your own self-awareness, that you are a powerful creator and have the ability to create through your alignment of self-worth. All others outside gifts coming in, or everyone else that gives you gifts, are but fleeting. Whether that's in love offers, financial help, or medical help, as anything coming to you because you feel the lack of what you really feel, and you've aligned yourself with those others that also feel the lack and look to others to try to control, to feel better about themselves. This means they control how much and when they give it to you, which they can stop at any time, making you feel worse than before. Now we're talking about if you give something to yourself, you say to yourself, I'm going to heal myself and I'm going to allow the universe to bring me to someone that's going to help this, that's different. But if you say, oh my God, I have no way of healing myself, I need someone to help me, I'm so weak and vulnerable and a victim, then the person that you're bringing to yourself, because you're coming from a lack of, is a person that's also a lack of. So they would have said, I want to be powerful and I want to control everybody. So how am I going to do that? Because I don't feel in control of myself and I need to feel that power. I know I will produce medicine, and then whenever I feel like giving it to this person, they can give me money or whatever, but I'll only do it on my terms. I'll only give it on my terms. So I can control them because they're always in lack of themselves, feeling like they can't help or heal themselves, so I can control them. And that's what's happening with the world at the moment, especially with things going on. You know what I'm going to say. Anyway, I'll carry on with this channel message. But if you know from within what you are worth, then you will align yourself with others who also know their worth, and any rewards are knowingly coming from this frequency of self-love, which will always be stable so long as you love yourself. This can only happen if you follow your true identity of what makes you happy, because you can't love something about yourself if it doesn't make you happy to be that. So yeah, once we're in that frequency of self-love, we will bring to us, through that freedom, the things that we need to heal, to have love, to have financial stability or abundance. Abundance to me is not necessarily being, rich with $1 million trillion in the bank, although obviously that would make life a lot easier. But it is, abundance to me is the knowing that you love yourself enough that the universe will always support you. You'll never go without, and whatever you wish for, you will be granted. Then you don't have to carry anything in banks, and people don't have to control the banks. That's all outside ourselves again, isn't it? Okay, let's get into this next channel message. Okay, this one says it's from the Arcturians and the Pleiadians. This is a really interesting channel message. Like those few came from pretty much the same vibration, but this one's a little bit different. I'll start off with a story that I had. Also, the necklace that I'm wearing is something that I make, and I've got a heart-shaped one. I put all these together. Yeah, I love these necklaces. Anyway, I just thought I'd throw that in there. So 5th of September, Arcturians and Pleiadians came through with this really different message. When I was a kid, when I was a little girl, I remember sitting down thinking to myself, I really want to become a princess or a queen, a prince. I think it was a queen. And the voice that came in my head straight away, it was a reply of, you don't want to become the queen of this world. You don't want to become like the queen of this world. And I never, ever, ever forgot that statement. Like, I was like flabbergasted. Why would that, I would be thinking you wouldn't want to become the queen of this world. I understand that now because the queen of this world is coming from a lack of herself. That's the reason why she feels she has to hoard everything to feel powerful. She has to have, gold stored in massive sheds and never share with anyone, and then watch all the people that she resides or controls over sit in gutters and be poor and strive through bills that they have to pay and all that sort of stuff. She rules from a lack of. So that was really interesting. But anyway, this is the message that I got from the Arcturians and Pleiadians. The sweet reason why it reminded me of that. Maybe when you were little, you wanted to become a princess or an empress or a queen or a god or an emperor or a leader or even a powerful kind of extraterrestrial. Well, there's a reason why you wish that fulfillment, and that why it was in your imagination. It is because it is a guide to your truth, that you are the creator of your reality, and you as a soul only wants the best for you as at this level of your authentic self. Your reality is what matters most, as there is only one point of existence, and that's your perspective. In other words, you can't see from another person's existence, or you would be them. No, just let that sink in for a bit. When they first told me this, I just had to sit there and go, oh yeah. I mean, what really exists? There's only my perspective of my reality. Everything else is outside forces coming in, telling me that they are this, that they are that they exist. And then I trust that. But I still have to have a trust in that for it to be my existence. It's really interesting if you just let your mind go free with that. Okay, so then they said, to help understand this, imagine being taken away by a UFO to another planet. I know why they bring that up like that, because I love the thought of that. And it's happened, so it was always fun. Imagine being taken away by a UFO to another planet, and when you stepped off the spaceship, peace washed over you, and all your desires you ever wanted are before you, and the adventures you can take, journey down, is only limited by how far your imagination can take you. Imagine, though, that when you took that first step onto this planet, you forgot everything about life on Earth. So remember, this is just using your imagination. If this is the truth, that when you stepped on that planet, then one could ask, and then everything fell away from Earth, does all that pain and limitation of your other realities still exist? Does Earth and this lower vibration still exist? So if I forget from my perspective about Earth, there's a real, it takes you really deep into your mind. Does Earth still exist? Because there's only my perception, right? my existence, my point of reality. To me, it doesn't exist anymore. It's really weird. Anyway, this is a scary thought because one loves to hold on to the comfort of the stories they created as they invested in all other lives or everybody else as their responsibility to keep their story going. There's another one you got to think about. This is such a mind bender. But if you think about it, those still in the story of pain and limitation keep going because that's all they know. And if you're moving into a new vibration, even while living here on earth and stepping into an empress or a godlike vibration, this shifts you into a peaceful existence, then this is all that matters, because others you thought were your responsibility only kept their story of pain going for you to keep your story of pain going. It's a mind bender. I love that one. Okay. So yeah, if I want to chat about that a little bit. So really, me keeping the pain going within my existence is actually keeping them locked into their feeling of their existence and their responsibility to keep my pain going. Because they see me as a certain specific individual, right? They see me as somebody who's in pain. So their story in their existence is saying Bobbie is in pain, meaning that they keep their story going. But if I take the reins of my own reality and say, this is all that exists and this is all that matters, I'm going to say to myself that I don't have any pain anymore. And then I walk up to them with no pain within myself and they feel that, then their existence shifts to Bobbie has healed herself. So she's no longer in any more pain. And now, instead of holding that story in my head that Bobbie is in pain, I can now shift my story to Bobbie is a healer and she guides others to heal themselves. I think that's what they were trying to tell me. Ooh, it's very juicy and exciting and taking a lot more responsibility of my reality too. Okay. The other message I got is just a shorter one. There is a power in your emotions, as each emotion guides you to what you want to create in your world and what you don't want in your reality. No more hiding them or shaming them. Allow them to wash over you, but also don't hold on to them and use them from an ego point of view to manipulate others. Just purely see them as tension or love that guides you away from or towards what you do or do not wish to be in your existence. Obviously, anything coming from love is something that you want in your existence, because if we create from love, we're creating what we want. If we're creating from fear, if we're creating from resistance, if we're creating from, oh my God, is that going to happen in the mind? And the mind loves the fear games. It keeps the mind playing out scenarios that pretty much don't exist, honestly. And then your mind will try to confirm those pains and those fears with, sorry, they're giving me something else as well when I'm talking. Then your mind will try to create those pains and fears outside itself and lead you to that, to confirm what it feels is the right thing. The other thing that they were giving me at the moment is humanity has a lot more power than what they think. And it really doesn't take much to shift this reality. It really doesn't take much. The problem is the people who still believe their mind, still believe that their mind needs to control, and their mind is controlling through the fear games, and then there's always somebody else out there that's going to want to control them, because they've given they're saying they're giving their power away to the mind. But way, way, way more powerful than that is the soul. And the soul only comes from love, and the soul only wants the best for you. The soul only wants you to live in a world of peace and harmony and adventure and excitement and abundance. Anyway, what they're saying is that all of those that are awoken to this realization, they just step into that power. And as soon as it really only takes that to happen. It's already happened. They're really telling me it's already happened. The reason why it's already happened is because that's what oneness wanted, and oneness is all of us. Even the ones that are stuck in their own lack of trying to control others, because they feel lack within themselves. And the reason why they feel this lack within themselves is because they're not connected to their souls either. They've invested so much energy into the mind, into the ego, into limitations, that they can only seek their abundance and all their glory and everything from outside themselves, which is actually consuming. It's only consuming. Anything that they love, they consume. See, if you take a lot of drugs and everything and you try to consume other things and other people and control other people, you are doing that because you're wanting so badly to feel power. But that power only resides in one thing. It resides in oneness. It resides in the whole. And the soul comes from love. So whenever they go into that, they'll only consume themselves. If you take lots of drugs, you'll consume your body. If you consume other things that aren't good for you, you're slowly eating yourself up. You could never maintain the level of power you could never maintain the level of power of beauty in this world, of feeling good about yourself, of the magnificence that you are, by the mind only, by consuming outside yourself, by overpowering outside yourself. You could never do that. So you're never going to reach it. And once they start to realize that they're fighting a losing battle, and it really is up to each one of us individually, one by one, to say yes or no, what game we're going to play. Because as soon as we connect to our soul, we will be shown a different path. We'll be guided, and we will also be gifted with a lot more things that can help us get out of anything. Their battle is over. But on the other side, I have to take my hat off to them. They're amazing. They're powerful. They're incredible in their own right, because they were meant to pull humanity out of their connection to their soul, and what a power they are. So when they decide to reconnect back to the soul, which is love for all, they're going to be amazing. They're going to be so powerful. Nothing gets lost. We are all one. There is no separation. It's just one. So I take my hat off to them that they had that much power to take a whole race out of connection to soul. That's powerful. But they'll never be happy. Not really. Not the happiness that they're searching. They will only be happy when they connect to their soul, back to their soul. Anyway, that's enough for now. Bye.